Hello guys, Oroth here and a warm welcome back to my channel. I'm finally back with a new video. I've been having some vacation. I traveled to Kenya, I went on safari, I went to the slums of Nairobi, I went out to the village, and yeah, I've had a lot of great experiences, and hopefully I will be able to share some more from those with you later on. But it's also good to be back. I've been trying really hard to find a lot of new essences because I want to release new exciting builds both for PvE and for PvP. So I hope that you guys look forward to that. But one subject that I felt the need to talk about today is the new 2-star gem, because a lot of people has asked me to do a video on the new 2-star gem. So this will be my take, and I'm gonna divide this video into two different segments. So first I'm gonna talk about the gem from a PvE perspective, and after that I'm also gonna talk about the gem from a PvP perspective. But let us first take a look at the gem and what it does. So if we look here, I have a rank 9 gem equipped, and the name of the gem is Crimson Behelit. I don't know if it's pronounced that way, but anyways, let's read the text here, and I'm gonna give you the rank 10 numbers. So I'm gonna read out here from a rank 9, but I'm gonna read out loud the rank 10 effects. So what it says is that your Behelit activates in response to your overwhelming desire, granting you the Behelit power you seek the most. While above 50% life, dealing damage grants you Behelit's Wrath, increasing your damage done by 30% for 6 seconds. When taking damage below 50% life, you gain Behelit's Mercy, reducing the damage you take by 30% for 6 seconds. When a Behelit power triggers, it releases a scream of terror at the enemy's location, fearing nearby. It should probably be fearing nearby enemies for 1.6 seconds. Each Behelit power has its own separate cooldown, and the Behelit's Wrath has a 20-second cooldown, and Behelit's Mercy has a 60-second cooldown. So this is what the gem does, and let us also take a look here at the gem resonance effects. So first of all, you need to put in a Misery Elixir, you can put in a Cold Confidant, and you can also put in an Igneous Scorn. And on the left side here we can see the effects that we get, and important to note here is that this is defensive stats, so it will not give any offensive stats. So it will decrease the damage we take while moving, it will decrease the damage we take while suffering loss of control, and it will also increase our block chance. Let's first look at this gem then from a PvE perspective. The only effect that is really useful in most types of PvE content when we look at this gem is the damage increase that we get. And at rank 10 we will get 30% damage increase whenever we deal damage, and the base duration is 6 seconds. And here is something that's very important to note. This gem will not be affected by the 2-piece veto effect. So if we look at Mornskull, for example, or Royal Inconsequence, those gems, they do get prolonged by 2 pieces of Vitus Urge. But the new 2-star gem does not increase from 2 Vitus Urge. And this is similar to Mother's Lament, that is also not affected by 2 pieces of Vitus Urge. What's good about the gem is that the damage increase that you get is quite high, so that's 30%. In general, it's better to have a higher damage increase for a short duration compared to a lower damage increase over a longer period of time. But the downside, like I said, is that it is not affected by Vitus Urge, so it loses some score in my book because of that. What's important to mention as well is that in many cases when we fight in a dungeon, for example, a lot of the downtime will also be during cinematics and things like this. So it's not like the gem will only be up for 6 seconds and then down for 14 seconds on average while you are fighting. It will actually be up a lot longer than that. And it's also important to mention that you can still improve this duration through other means by increasing your beneficial effect duration. So here, for example, on my chest, I have 6% beneficial effect duration. I also have on my Reforges duration of beneficial effects increased. I have it on all my items, so this will prolong the effects of this gem. With this being said, if we compare this gem with, for example, the Mornskull effect, it will be up to 36% increased damage. It is also affected by the Vitus Urge, and on top of that, you also deal damage by the Mornskull itself. So, if I would rate this gem for PvE content, it's a solid gem. It's definitely not an S tier gem, and I would probably not even say that it's an A-rated gem. I would probably rate it around B+. So a solid, decent gem for PvE, but nothing crazy. But this gem becomes a lot more exciting when we start to evaluate it from a PvP perspective. First of all, the damage increase is of course nice as well, but the other two effects are maybe even stronger. And first we can take a look at the other Behelit effect. And that says that whenever you take damage while you are below 50% life, you will gain Behelit's Mercy. And this will reduce the damage you take by 30% at rank 10. And of course this is strifed, so it will only be 10% in PvP. And remember that the cooldown of this effect is also 60 seconds. And what I have seen is that a lot of people, they have been quite negative when they look at the cooldown. They say that 60 seconds is way too long, and also that the 10% is way too little. But I have to say that in most cases there is no effect in the game that is totally broken, but if you can just improve your survivability by a few percentage points, that's a good thing. And if you think about it, the effect is only needed when you are in trouble. And me, for example, I play a lot of ranged classes in PvP because that's what I enjoy the most. And if I play well, I'm not very often fall down below 50% life. This means that this gem will only trigger when I maybe make a mistake and I fall below 50% life, and then it will increase my survivability. And thanks to that, maybe I can get away without losing all of my life. In that way, I will also conserve one charge of Savior. So it's like a ripple effect that if you just manage to increase your survivability beyond a certain breakpoint, all of a sudden you will survive a lot better. You will conserve other survivability tools like Savior, as I just mentioned. And for that reason, I would probably say that this effect is very good. It's not broken in any way, but this is just like an extra effect that you get that is very useful in PvP. But the most important thing with this gem is the fear effect. So you will fear enemies whenever one of these Behelit effects activates, and this means that you can fear a target once every 20 seconds for the damage increase effect, and once every 60 seconds for the defensive effect. And this is good for two reasons. As I just mentioned, if I play a little bit sloppy and I fall down below 50% life, which doesn't happen very often, imagine if someone is chasing me and they manage to land a stun on me that takes me below 50% life, then I will also stun them. So I will fear them and they will run away from me a little bit, and then I will be able to escape. So they can attack me, they can stun me, but then they can't follow up because I will fear them thanks to this gem. So it works very well. And on top of that, it's also great for offensive tool because if I jump on an enemy, I will often also fear them. So it's extremely strong for PvP. I would probably say that it's one of the strongest gem effects in the entire game for PvP. I've been playing this gem a lot in PvP to try it out because I just wanted to feel how impactful it is before releasing this video, and I have to say that it's working wonders. And what's also important to mention here is that the fear itself will happen at the enemy's location. So if I play a ranged class, I can stand from a distance and deal damage, and I can fear them when they're on the idols, for example, and they will run off the idols. And maybe then someone can follow up with a stun, I can knock them up, while they are not on the idols. So this way it can both work very well as an offensive tool when it comes to killing someone, but also to defend the idols. So when it comes to PvP, I definitely would say that this is an S tier gem. So to conclude, this gem is very solid for PvE content, but it's very, very strong for PvP content. And I recommend everyone to get their hands on this gem. You don't have to get it to rank 10. If you can get it to rank 6 or higher, that's good enough. And I really hope that you enjoy playing around with this gem. To finish off, I would like to say that I'm super happy to be back, and I want to wish you a very nice day or a very nice evening wherever you are. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. If you find my content useful, please subscribe to my channel as well. I'm almost up to 10k subscribers now, and that's amazing. So wow, thanks to all of you for being here and supporting me. And before we say goodbye, I also want to say to all of my clan members in Nyx, Voruk Nyx, Sholak Sol. So bye bye.
If a boy or if a girl,
subscribe to Aura's channel.
Let him take you to his world.
Subscribe to Aura's channel.
The best choice you will ever make.
Subscribe to Aura's channel.
Hit the bell, a piece of cake.
Subscribe to Aura's channel.
Let me tell you one more time.
Subscribe to Aura's channel.
All the answers you will find.
Subscribe to Aura's channel.